You are not lean, not because you're lazy, not because you don't have the most amazing genetics in the world, but because you've been lied to about fat loss. Diets, fitness influencers, TikTok hacks, none of it works long term, and that's why you've started and quit 10 times already. In this video, I'm going to break down the ultimate fat loss guide. The exact framework I use with clients to strip off fat, keep it off, and never have to do another crash diet ever again. Most people can lose weight for 6 weeks. Almost nobody can keep it off for 6 months. And that's the difference between looking good once for a holiday versus actually being lean and athletic all year round. And I've done this myself. Spent years cutting, bulking, and coaching people through this. And I put everything into one system that anyone can follow, whether you're a busy parent, a 9-to-5 worker, or someone who's tried every fad diet out there. And the best part is, it's all free in this video, but if you don't want to watch the whole thing, you can literally just click on the first link in the description and you've got the PDF guide there. And it's free. Here is how it's going to work. I'm going to walk you through the 10 rules that actually make fat loss stick. No fluff, no pseudoscience, just stuff that works. So let's get into it. Let's start with the 10 rules to success. Let's try and make it easy for ourselves. Step 1, reality, then action. Stop guessing and start measuring. Weigh yourself, measure your waist, and take clear front, side, and back shots and back photos under the same light each week, each time, every single week. If you own body fat calipers, use them. Even if you're not accurate, doing it the same way each week will give you data. Write everything down on the same day, at the same time, so the numbers actually mean something. Most people discover they are a bit softer than they thought, i.e. fatter, and that's fine. It's not a failure, it's just the truth, and the truth lets you choose the right target. If you've lived near 30% body fat for years, make 20% your first stop, not 8% like every other man wants. 20%, and then work from there. If you were already around about 12% as a man or 22% as a woman, you don't need a huge cut. You just need to protect your strength and tidy things up slowly. Step 2, a goal that you can keep. Health comes first. Leanness comes afterwards, and social media is a distant third. Stage lean bodies, the bodybuilders, look cool in photos but feel absolutely awful in real life, and I know that from experience. So pick a look that you can live with while working, training, sleeping, and being present with people that you care about. And you might not know until you get there, but as soon as you get too lean, you will. For most men, that number in body fat percentage is around about 15%. It's strong, athletic, and it's sustainable. Women can think about these numbers roughly 10% higher. Choose that number, say it out loud, and promise yourself that you will hold it calmly and not chase extremes that you cannot keep. Number 3, support that keeps you honest. Willpower fades when life gets loud. So build a simple loop that catches you. Tell one person that you trust what you're doing and why it matters to you. Every week, send them photos and a short update with your weight, your daily steps during the week, your sleep, your training, if you've missed anything, the plan as it was and what you've managed to do, and agree on a tiny consequence. So something annoying but safe. Just so you feel that cost of drifting. If you don't have someone who will hold you in line, then just hire a coach. A good coach. Because a good coach gives you more than just cheerleading. They'll give you feedback, adjustments, and a plan when your head is noisy. And it does get noisy. Step 4 is decide who you are, then behave that way. Identity beats motivation. If you say, I am the kind of person who trains, eats enough protein, walks every single day, and goes to bed on time. You put your training sessions in your calendar, like meetings at work that you just can't skip. You set a daily protein minimum that you always hit and a step target that you protect. A bedtime window you respect. Set clear limits for alcohol and snacks so you don't have to debate with yourself every single evening. Feelings rise and they fall, but the rules stay the same, and the rules will carry you on the days that you feel flat. Number 5, the simple engine. Fat loss isn't magic, It's literally a calorie deficit. When you eat less than what you use, body fat goes down. And I know it's hard to believe if you've ever watched anything on fitness from TikTok, but science is science and facts are facts. When you lift weights, eat enough protein and sleep well, muscle stays on your body whilst that fat leaves. And cardio is also useful for overall health and energy burn. It's a tool for fat loss, not the whole engine. But this does not mean that you should ever skip cardio. Cardio is more than a fat loss tool. It's a cheat code for a long life. Train hard, close to failure, breathe between sets, and treat 7 to 9 hours of sleep as part of your program, not a bonus. If someone tells you that none of this matters, they're selling a shortcut, and that shortcut won't last. Number 6, build the plan around your life. I don't know what your life is like. I can guess. I've spoken to people who live different kinds of lives, but only you know what you can do. A plan that fights for its life will fail. If you travel, carry a shaker, some protein powder, and simple snacks that you can eat anywhere. If you don't like certain foods, pick other ones that will allow you to hit your target. If you have children, like I do, and have busy evenings, then batch cook once a week, twice a week, and keep easy meals ready to heat up. Most days, eat in simple order. Pile your plate with vegetables first. Add a solid protein option like meat, eggs, fish, or if you're vegan, something plant-based. Maybe a piece of fruit. And then add your starchy carbs for fuel. Very, very small amounts of fat, enough to keep your hormones going, but also a little bit of flavour. And only a little bit of junk when you have the room within your calories. When you build plates this way, hunger drops and control gets easier. More on this later. Number 7, shape your space, not just your will. Your kitchen decides more than your motivation. If a high calorie snack lives in your cupboard, you'll eat them on tired days. Clear them out or put them in small single portions that are easy to track. Write the amount of calories on that small portion so it'll give you a bit more mindfulness about what you're eating. Make helpful foods easy to see and easy to reach. Go shopping with a plan and never go shopping when you're hungry. People will tell you it's only one. Simple. Just smile, choose for yourself, and remember that your goals are not up for a group vote. Number 8, read the dashboard. Your body gives warnings before it crashes. So if you're getting poor sleep, falling numbers in the gym, strength going down, low sex drive, low mood, they're all signs that the deficit or the training is too much. And when you see them, don't push harder into the wall. Add a little bit of food back, maybe maintenance, take an easier training week, fix your bedtime, go back to basics and steady the ship, because it's not failure, it's just smart driving. So adjust those little bits and then continue. If you need 3 days off in a row because you're tired, just have 3 days off in a row. You'll come back stronger, feeling more refreshed. And trust me, I've been there and I've done it. Number 9 is flexible, never sloppy. Real life brings birthdays, holidays, travel days, late meetings, but you don't need perfect days to make progress. You just need smart ones. So before tough days, make a small plan. Hit your protein, drink your water, keep your steps high where possible, and estimate the rest as best as you can. If a meal runs bigger than planned, don't throw the day away or promise to start again Monday. It just doesn't work like that. Just eat the next normal meal and move on, because consistency wins, drama loses. And finally, number 10, keep your head healthy. A strong body is useless if your mind is tangled. So check how you feel, not just how you look. If you stop seeing friends, fear certain foods, keep checking mirrors, or start acting superior because of your diet, then that's a warning. Speak to someone early, whether it's a coach, a trusted friend, or a professional. The real win is a body that you are proud of and a mind that is calm, kind, and present. This is going to be your full, complete nutrition and training guide. The big truth: calories control your weight. It's that simple. Eat more than you use and your weight goes up. Eat less than what you use and your weight goes down. But only chasing low calorie often fails. And it's because you get hungry, weak, tired, and you will eventually quit. The smart approach keeps calories in check while choosing foods that fill you up, protect your muscles. The 3 non-negotiables are protein, which keeps your muscles and controls hunger, lifting, which tells your body to keep muscle, and sleep, which helps recovery and hunger control. Cardio helps as a tool for fat loss, but these three are your foundations. Here's why most diets fail. You following this program, yours won't. The word is hunger. If your plan keeps you hungry all day, you're eventually going to stop. And that's why we're building meals that give you big volume, enough protein and steady energy. So this is your food hierarchy and it will change everything. Think of it as your priority ladder. Eat more of the top and less from the bottom. Number 1, vegetables. Eat a lot, as much as you can realistically. Protein. Eat this in every single meal. Fruit. Eat this as often as you can. Starchy carbs, potatoes, pasta, rice. Eat as needed. And fats and treats, eat a little. So vegetables are your volume foundation. So this is leafy greens, broccoli, green beans, asparagus, peppers, tomatoes, cucumbers, mushrooms, courgettes, cauliflowers, cabbage, carrots, salad, just anything vegetable based. And it's not because they're magic. It's because they have a ton of fibre and water, they're tiny calories and they fill your plate, and they will fill your plate so you feel satisfied. So how much? Aim for 2 fists of vegetables at lunch and dinner. And if you're still hungry, just add more vegetables. So if you're on a budget, frozen vegetable mix like carrots, cabbage, onions, tinned tomatoes. And if you say, oh, I hate vegetables, then your taste can change. So start small, roast it with spices, put it in the air fryer, put some low calorie sauces in it, blend it into soups, just give it time. Number 2, protein. This is your meal anchor. So this is chicken, turkey, lean beef, pork loins, eggs, fish, prawns, 0% Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, whey protein, or any other vegan option. And it's important that when you try to lose fat, you should always choose the leaner options. The extra fat in meats adds up very, very quickly, and saturated fat is not actually that good for you. And it's essential because protein keeps you full. It protects your muscles and helps you recover. So 1 to 2 pounds per meal. Most people need protein at breakfast, lunch and dinner, sometimes a shake. And again, a budget is eggs, tin tuna, salmon, frozen chicken, whey protein, lentils and beans. But just remember that they also bring carbs. The third one, fruit. This is to try to hold sweet cravings at bay. So this is anything like berries, apples, oranges, melons, grapes, pears, pineapples, and it's sweet, it's high volume, vitamins, fibre, and it's a perfect swap for that high calorie dessert. So 1 fist with meals or as snacks. The low calorie winners are going to be the berries, the melons, the oranges, the apples. Number 4, starchy carbs. This is the fuel when it's needed. So potatoes, rice, pasta, oats, bread, wraps, couscous, noodles, cereal. And this is fuel for training and busy days. But they are easy to overeat, so measure them carefully. If you start with 0 to 1 cupped hands per meal, you can add more on hard training days and use less on rest days. The better fillers are going to be the slower digesting ones, so potatoes, oats, whole grains, because they'll keep you fuller than white bread or the sugary cereals. And finally, fats and treats. These are going to be the small indulges, although they are important for hormones. So this is olive oil, butter, mayo, nuts, nut butter, cheese, avocado. And they're healthy, but they're also calorie dense. So measure them with teaspoons and make sure that you measure them. One mistake with fats can make or break your diet. And the treats can be like chocolate, crisps, pastries, biscuits, donuts, fried fruit, pizza, sugary drinks. And they're tasty, but they are just so easy to overeat. The approach is plan them, don't graze on them, keep them small and not daily. So if you want to build your perfect plate, here's the template. Half of the plate is vegetables, 1 to 2 pounds of protein, 1 fistful of fruit, which is obviously optional, and 1 cupped hand of starch, but more if you're active. Use a teaspoon of fats for cooking or a bit of cheese on top. And if you use a fatty protein like salmon, mince, then just skip that added fat. The 1-line rule is more vegetables, steady protein, fruit often, starch when needed, tiny fats and treats. And this is a quick adjustment guide. So if you're hungry add vegetables first. Then check protein, then drink water. If your calories are still too high, cut fats first. Then trim the starch, then keep vegetables and proteins high. If you're craving something sweet, eat fruit first. If you still want to treat, have a small planned piece and then stop. If you're training hard, add a cupped hand of carbs around your session. If you're sedentary on a day and you're not training, stick on vegetables and protein and keep the starch, the fats lower. If you're eating out, order the protein and the vegetables first, so like grilled meats and fish or salads and greens, and ask for sauces and dressings on the side. Dip your fork in, don't pour. Swap chips for boiled potatoes, salad or extra vegetables. And if you want dessert, share one or just skip the starter. Here's your travel strategy. Pack protein powders, shakers, water bottles and fruits, so apples, bananas, baby carrots, rice cakes, beef jerky, low-fat yogurts and protein bars. If you're sitting at a hotel, eggs and fruit and yogurt. Skip the pastries. If you're at an airport, look for protein and vegetable boxes. Avoid grazing on sweets. Here's your shopping list. Vegetables. Salad mixes, spinach, broccoli, green beans, peppers, onions, carrots, frozen vegetables, tinned tomatoes. Your proteins, chicken breast, thighs if you can afford the additional fat, lean mince, eggs, white fish, salmon, prawns, yogurts, proteins, fruits, berries, apples, oranges, all the aforementioned foods, and then fats. Olive oil, very, very healthy, very, very calorific. Go for the light mayo, avocado if you like it, it tastes like shit. Nuts, seeds, and for flavour, use low calorie stuff. Garlic, herbs, spices, salsa, mustard, light dressings, and zero or low calorie sauces. Remember to cook simple, cook once, eat twice. If you tray bake chicken or salmon, plus a mountain full of vegetables with measured oil and spices, you can make a big pot of chili, so like lots of vegetables, lean mince or beans, tinned tomatoes. You can portion that and freeze it. Stuff like overnight oats, so like oats, whey, yogurt and berries. Stir fries, lean mince, frozen vegetables with the sauces like soy, garlic, but always measure oil. Batch cooking saves time, money and willpower. One of the biggest hidden calorie sabotagers is drinks, alcohol and sauces. So the best drinks for you are going to be water, tea, coffee, 0 calorie drinks. Anything else is going to contain calories. So milk, it's got carbs and fats. Alcohol, it slows down fat loss and lowers control. If you drink, choose small amounts like low calorie options and avoid late night overeating. You don't earn drinks with food cut all week. Most people just rebound. With sauces, treat them like fats and treats and make sure you measure them. Some budget friendly options. Vegetables and lean protein can cost more than bread and oil. So use frozen vegetables, eggs, potatoes, oats, lentils and beans, chicken in big value packs, and in-season fruit. And you don't need fancy foods, just smart filling choices. So your daily success checklist. Have you hit your protein? Have you had vegetables at least 2 meals? Have you hit your step target? Have you slept between 7 to 9 hours? And have you drank 2 to 3 litres of water? If you tick 4 to 5 of those boxes, most days, your results will follow. A sample day might look something like this. This is around 2,000 calories. Breakfast is Greek yogurt, 300 grams, berries 150, a little bit of honey, and 30 grams of oats. The lunch, chicken salad, so 200 grams of chicken, huge salad bowl, a tablespoon of olive oil or balsamic vinegar. A snack, apple plus whey protein shake, and dinner will be a salmon fillet, again 150 to 200 grams, roasted vegetable tray, maybe some potatoes, and a treat could be 2 small squares of dark chocolate. You can swap out foods as you needed, but keep the hierarchy order. Building your default day will mean that you'll never wing it. It is calories in, calories out, and it explains weight loss change, but you need a plan you can actually stick to. So create your own go-to menu that becomes second nature. When life gets crazy, and it probably will, you'll tweak it, not abandon it entirely. So again, protein and vegetables, add fruit, include carbs when you needed it for energy, and use fats in small measured amounts like oils, cheese, sauces. Here's an example. Harold is a 5'9", 210-pound guy who wants to lose fat. This is how his plan looks. His starting point is 2,300 calories. So his minimum protein is going to be 165 grams. His fat minimum is going to be 60 grams. So the remaining can be used for carbs. That means calories from protein is 660, fat is 540, the remaining carbs is going to be 1,200 calories, which means that he can have up to 275 grams of carbs. Harold will stick to this for 2 weeks. Watch this scale trend, training performance, sleep, hunger levels, and then adjust. If he's losing too slowly, cut 150 to 300 calories. This is usually from carbs or fats. If he's losing too fast or feeling terrible, add 100 to 300 back in. If he's on target but still feeling good, keep it the same. Don't change it if it doesn't work. The daily checklist is going to be calories set and tracked, protein minimum daily hit, fat minimum reached, and carbs fill in the gap. Meals built around protein and vegetables with fruits. And weekly weigh and the weekly average or median trend moving in the right direction. Nail those basics and you're going to be winning. Build your plate, the hierarchy that works. So vegetables fill you up for minimal calories. So your target is going to be between 100 to 500 calories of vegetables daily. If you're bigger or you've got a bigger appetite or body, aim higher. If you're not very hungry, you can stay around 100 calories. Harold decides to choose 250 calories worth of vegetables daily. He's chosen green beans, asparagus, broccoli, and spinach. For proteins, focus on grams of protein, not recipes. So mix lean and medium fat options to hit protein without exploding calories. An easy rule for this is choose items where about half of the calories come from protein. So chicken thighs, lean mince, eggs, egg whites, most fish work as well. So Harold's protein comes from 6 eggs, 200 grams of chicken thighs, 100 grams of salmon, and 150 grams of lean ground beef. So that's 180 grams total protein. It's 70 grams of fat, which adds around 1,400 calories. That means his running total so far is 1,400 for protein, 254 vegetables, meaning he's up to 1,650 calories. So he's already hitting his protein, plus his fiber. Everything else is a bonus. And quick note, if you're vegan or vegetarian, the same approach with tofu, tempeh, corn, whatever else. Keep your protein high, watch your oils. So fruit, the sweet satisfaction. Add fruits and fiber and prevent dessert binges. 150 calories of fruit if you enjoy it. Whatever you actually like, just stick with it. Harold chooses 150 calories from fruit. He loves strawberries, so a big bowl, 450 grams of it, works perfectly. So his new total daily running, 1,400 plus 250 plus his 150 from fruits. He's up to 1,800 calories. Now his carbs, oils and treats. These are the remaining calories to hit the daily target. Harold's target is 2,300. He's got 500 calories left. He can spend them on carbs like potatoes, rice and oats, oils, olive oil, nuts, cheese, or a small treat for tighter results. Choose slower carbs like potatoes or whole grains more often. White rice or pasta is fine too, but just measure it. And remember, not every calorie must be perfect. You should support your goal. If you can support your sanity, you need to be able to balance strict and flexibility for the long game mindset. So you need to be strict enough to make progress, but flexible enough to stick with it for months. People who keep weight off long term usually eat more fiber, eat enough protein, choose whole foods most of the time, and stay active, like cardio minutes and steps. Steps add up. Activity targets. So like daily activity targets, not rigid rules, is like moderate activity, 300 to 600 minutes per week. Vigorous, 150 to 300 minutes per week. People that get more steps have a lower BMI on average. Set a step goal for yourself and protect it. Calories are the mechanism, but habits make results stick. So here are your lifting essentials. These are essentially non-negotiables. Your training should check these boxes. Use movements that work muscles well and repeat them consistently. So for chest, it's like presses, flies. Shoulders, it's overhead presses, lateral raises. For your back, it's pull downs, pull-ups, rows, shrugs. For arms, it's curls, tricep extensions. For legs, it's squats, leg presses, leg extensions, hamstrings, curls, calf raises, or your hinge movements and glutes, it's RDLs, hip hinges and hip thrusts. And your set should be hard, near failure. A simple rule is pick a weight that you can do between 6 and 10 reps with, and then work to within 0 to 2 reps of failure. If you could do more than 10 reps, it's too light. And when we talk about working the muscle, frequency is also important. So train your muscles at least twice per week. That's the sweet spot for most people. The volume, start with about 5 hard sets per muscle and spread these over the days of the week. Add sets slowly, only if your progress stalls and your recovery is good. To build muscle, we need progressive overload. So over time, try to either do more reps with the same weight or use heavier weights for the same reps, or do the same work with better control and range. In a calorie deficit, holding strength is a win, but don't worry if numbers stall. And that's how you cut, keep muscle and stay in control. The part that actually keeps your results is when the diet ends, because when it does, your job doesn't. Most people can lose weight, very, very few keep it off. They hit the goal, relax, and old habits start to rush back. They regain faster than what they've lost it, and another transformation happens next year. Don't be that person. To not be that person, here's some rules. Rule 1, treat maintenance like a phase, not a guess. Here's how to step out of your deficit. Keep weighing yourself the same way. Estimate your recent deficit from the trend. For example, for Harold, the last 4 weeks he lost 3 pounds, eating 2,000 calories and walking 15,000 steps per day. So that's a rough deficit of 3 times 3,500, because there's 3,500 calories in a pound there or thereabouts. So it's 10,000 calories. That 10,500 calories was over 28 days, which means it is approximately 375 calories a day. So if he adds back 350 to 500 calories per day, he's going to land somewhere close to maintenance. So Harold tries 2,350 to 2,500 calories. Never slash the steps, because steps burn calories. So if Harold drops from 15,000 to 5,000, energy burn crashes, i.e. calories out goes down. When you do this, expect a bounce. So week 1 to 2 after raising food, you'll store more glycogen because you're eating more carbs. You'll store more water because of the glycogen. And there's a higher food volume, so it'll sit in your stomach. So scale jumps are normal. So judge from about week 3 onwards, and target during this phase will be flat weight or less than 0.5 pounds gained per week. Training performance should be steady or climbing. Your hunger levels should be lower than when you was cutting. Rule 2, food order still matters. For the first week at maintenance, increase calories mostly from vegetables, then protein, then fruit, then the rest. Hold back on adding more starch in, adding more oils and sweets until your hunger is calm, your routine is steady. So keep using that base and adjust portions up, not food quality down. Rule 3, pictures and performance beat panic. Weekly photos and morning weight average. If photos look the same or better and your lifts are up, then you are absolutely winning, even if the scale nudges up. Moving to your building phase, dropping the word bulks are stupid. You're building muscle, not getting heavy. So some rules for building. Fuel progress, not the scale. If sleep, steps, training are solid and lifts are improving, you don't need more food yet. When progress stalls for like 1 to 2 weeks, then start to add calories, and only a small amount, like 100 calories per day. Then reassess. If it's still stalled after another 2 weeks, add another 100 calories. Watch your gain rate and just make sure it's 0.5 pounds per week is smart. Gaining faster without getting stronger lifting will probably be mostly fat. So fix your training before adding calories. Keep the quality order, vegetables, proteins, fruits, and then fit in starches and carbs to hit those calories. Keep steps high and still do cardio. It lets you eat more while staying leaner. And a reality check on surplus sizes. 0 to 200 calories is a high chance of building muscle. Maintenance, you can grow. It's just slower. And a deficit between -100 and -300, growth is possible in some cases, like new lifters, higher body fat, but it's not going to be maximized. If you're in a deep deficit and you're keeping muscle, you won't be adding to it. So Harold's complete journey. He's in the cut phase and he's at 2,500 calories. He's doing 15,000 steps a day and he's losing 0.75 pounds per week, which is a daily calorie deficit of 375. He transitions to maintenance, so he moves to 2,500 calories and keeps 15k steps. He expects 1 to 2 weeks of water bounce, and from week 3 he aims for flat or up to 0.5 pounds gained per week. His lifts are rising, so he's started to go into his building phase. He stabilises at that 2,500 calories, but his lifts stall. After 2 weeks, he goes to 2,600. If it's still stalled, he'll move up to 2,700, and he'll keep gaining up to 0.5 pounds per week. But there are some red flags. So here's some red flags and fixes. If your hunger is still high at maintenance, you're probably undershot calories or activity drop. So add in 100 to 150 calories and keep steps up. If you're looking for a rapid gain, so over 0.5 pounds per week, you're going to have a softer look. So trim 100 to 150 calories and tighten food choices. Make sure you count your steps. If your strength is falling, eat a bit more. Deload a week or reduce volume. Abandon your base for junk, bring back your foundation. Earn flexibility after your routine is stable. The bottom line is the diet ends when you hold a leaner body without constant hunger. You can train hard and you can live normally. Small, boring adjustments beat big swings. So keep the habits that got you lean. Swap less food for more performance and your body will follow. A lot of people will tell you it's more complicated than this, but it is absolutely not. Pick a starting calorie target. Use your body weight from a number from this list. Here's how to choose inside the range. If you're less active, you've got a job desk or a small step count, pick on the lower end. If you're very active and high steps, training hard, go for the higher end. And if you're not sure, just start somewhere in the middle and then slowly adjust. For example, a 210 pound man with moderate activity chooses 11 as his multiplier. That is 2,310 calories. A woman at 165 pounds with light activity will be 1,815 calories. A man with 320 pounds, low activity, will be 320 times 7, so 2,240. Wider, lighter people get a bigger multiplier. Smaller bodies usually have more lean mass per pound and burn a bit more per pound. Heavier bodies carry stored energy, so they can lose fat on fewer calories per pound, and that's completely normal. Step 2 is think in weekly averages. You can have a slightly lower day, slightly higher days. What matters is the 7-day average hits your target. So for example, if your weekly total calories is 14,700 and you want to do 2,000 calories every single day, and on a Saturday have a treat, go out, do whatever, and you end up eating 2,400 calories, then that is absolutely fine if the total is close. But some important warnings: avoid very low or 0 calorie days because they can spike fatigue, cut protein and hurt training and lead to binges, and I know this for a fact. You keep protein high, you lift your weights, sleep to 7 to 9 hours to protect that muscle while you diet, and track your weight every single day under the same conditions. So if you're losing weight too slowly based on what you want, so under 0.25% body weight per week, then drop 150 to 300 calories. If you're losing it too quickly, like over 1% of your body weight, add 150 to 300 calories. Always check your performance, sleep and libido, and erase the deficit and or deload if it gets too much. So how do you weigh the right way? It's in the morning. When you wake up, use a toilet with no food or drink, but underwear or nothing. Step on the scales and write that weight down. Use sheets, notes, anything. But don't judge week 1. The first 7 to 14 days drop a lot of water, not just fat. So big early losses do not mean calories are super low. After that first initial drop, the trend slows down and it starts to tell the truth. So it might be week 3, but it will start to stabilize. As long as you're within those ranges of calories set out in the previous section, you're going to be absolutely golden. So an example is here. This is what the first week for someone starting a diet might look like. It's fast at first and then it's slower, and that is completely normal. Around week 2, you start seeing the real pace, and this is very typical scale reflection of someone starting a fat loss phase. Initially, you'll see the person losing pounds by the day. After a few days, it's not as rapid, but you can still see they're losing quite quickly. If by week 2, let's say day 14, 15, 16, they have 3 weigh-ins in a row, all within that 241 pound range, does this mean that they plateaued? Absolutely not. It just means that that £5 plus of weight loss per week is gone. Now the body is normalised, and this is showing the real deficit. It's not a perfect way to view it, but each pound of weight loss you see on the scale is around 3,500 calories worth of energy. So look at the trend, not one number. And if you keep eating 2,400 calories and 2 months later you sit around 233 to 234 pounds, that is 8 pounds in 8 weeks. That is around about 0.25 to 0.5 pounds per week from the actual deficit. And that hints at a daily deficit of around 300 to 600 calories. So use that information to decide your next step. Here's when to change calories. Target loss should be around about 0.5 to 1% of body weight per week. So if you're 250 pounds, it's up to 2.5 pounds per week. If you're 160 pounds, up to 1.6 pounds per week. If loss is too slow, like under 0.25% body weight per week for 2 to 3 weeks, drop 150 to 300 calories per day, or do some more activity. If weight loss is over 1% per week, or your sleep, your strength, or your libido is crashing, add 150 to 300 calories, or just take a lighter training week. If you're around that 1% body weight mark and feeling good, keep calories the same, don't get greedy. And then what we're going to do is recheck the trend after 2 weeks and adjust. But an important note for women is that smaller bodies lose more slowly. Losing 4 to 6 pounds in a month is excellent. So don't compare your rate to a larger man. Check yourself before changing calories. Will I eat similar foods on most days? Do I have the budget for protein and produce? Do I have time to cook or prep? Am I picky? So plan foods. Do I have lots of social needs? Means you need to plan. How long will this cook take? Think months, not weeks. Can I be consistent? If not, fix the plan, not the willpower. And it's fine if your answers change after a few weeks. All you need to do is adjust the plan, keep the goal. Your daily weighing ritual is step on the scale at the same time each morning. But here's the key. Focus on weekly averages, not what you see today. If your weight bounces around like a yo-yo on the daily, switch to tracking the median instead. It'll save you sanity and it'll give you a clear picture of your actual progress. So here's your muscle saving trifecta. Keep protein high, lift weights hard, and get 7 to 9 hours sleep. And this combination is your insurance policy against losing muscle you've worked for a while. You're cutting calories. When hunger strikes, and at some point it will, if you're feeling like you could eat everything in sight, before you slash your calories, try this. Load up on vegetables and make sure you're actually hitting your protein target. And only after you've done both should you consider trimming some fats or carbs. Your hunger might just be telling you something important. Remember, this is a marathon, not a sprint. You didn't gain that weight overnight, and you won't lose it overnight either. Slow and steady will get you there without frustration and without burnout that comes with crash diet approaches.